Hello. Right, deep web. What is the deep web? Actually, it's the hidden parts of the internet. I could go into more detail, no time. But let's just say, well, actually, it's as dull as dishwater, most of it. But let's just say it's the hidden part of the internet. It's the kind of place where, if you want to be anonymous, you most certainly can. But in many ways, we're looking at a parallel universe. We're looking at an alternative internet, a place where people communicate secretly and securely away from the prying eyes of governments. At this level of the deep web, we're looking at a mirror image of the regular internet, the surface web. You've got websites and bulletin boards. You've got clones of Twitter and Facebook and all the rest of the things that you normally expect on the internet. So who's using this stuff? Well, actually, all sorts of people. Journalists and activists, aid workers and dissidents, whistleblowers and free speech advocates, criminals and spies. All sorts of people use deep web tools to be anonymous on the internet. How do they do that? Well, I'll show you some of the things that they do. But I'd like to propose that we all start to think about learning some of the secrets of the deep web, the black arts, if you will, to try and solve some of the problems of the internet today. And the way I see it, the internet's facing three main threats. Threat number one, you might call it the NSA factor. Now, we've all seen and read the Edward Snowden revelations. We all know we're being monitored all of the time. And this ultimately is going to have a terrible effect on the internet. And it might get to the point where people are frightened to speak openly, rather like North Korea or the old East Germany, where the phones were tapped or people were followed in the street or the mail was intercepted. Now, here's a fun thing you can try at home. Next time you send an email to your mum, say, include the words bomb, kill, Obama, Thursday. And let's see how long it takes for them to come and get you and your mum. Now, you can find my email address. Please get in touch because I'd like to know what happens. Did a SWAT team come and kick your door down? Did you find yourself on an airline no-fly list? Or did nothing happen? Or so you think. Because I actually think by monitoring us, the public at large, they're missing the point. They're barking up the wrong tree. They're looking in the wrong place. Because no terrorist worth their salt is going to give anything away in an email or on the phone. Osama bin Laden didn't have a Facebook page. And he never tweeted his friends. So you have to ask, why are they monitoring us all? Now, I think they do it simply because they can. Every government would want to know what its people are saying and thinking. After all, information is power. So bear that in mind next time there's a terrorist event, like the appalling murder in Woolwich, South London last year of Fusilier Lee Rigby. Well, quick as a flash, the government used that as an opportunity to say, we need to monitor the public at large. We need more monitoring. But correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think there was any evidence to suggest that the perpetrators of this appalling crime actually discussed their intentions on email or Facebook or Twitter. And when it comes down to it, the bad guys have a wealth of possibilities when they want to communicate secretly. One thing a lot of people do, they communicate inside the fantasy worlds, places like World of Warcraft and Second Life, which in a sense makes them deep web. Now, it's very easy to have a private conversation, somewhere like Second Life. All you've got to do is sidle up to somebody on a park bench there and have a nice, quiet conversation. Now, how does anybody know you're doing this? Now, probably they don't. And for all anybody knows, Islamic State or ISIS may be lurking down in My Little Pony world. Hi, Applejack, what are you up to today? Hiya, I'm real busy. I'm going to kill the president with a big bomb at 4 o'clock at the convention centre. Now, Snowden does tell us that they can see inside these things, inside these secret fantasy worlds. But are they really monitoring the conversations of 7-year-old girls? And even if they are, so what? You can talk in code. You don't have to say president, you can say big cheese or whatever. How would they know? Because they don't. So I say by monitoring us all, they're wasting their time. And what we're actually achieving by doing all this, we're destroying the freedom that the internet originally promised. So that's threat number one. Threat number two, rampant commercialization. Now, if we're not careful, we're heading towards a two-tier internet. A nice super fast internet for those that can pay, and a kind of rubbishy one for those that can't. And it's called the end of net neutrality. Once upon a time, there were hundreds of small oil companies all drilling for oil. And then in time, they all got taken over by the big boys. And now the oil business is in the hands of a few ultra-powerful corporations. And if we're not careful, this is the way the internet's going. Instead of an information superhighway, we're going to be looking at an expensive toll road. We're going to be looking at the pay TV model. And even if you think something's free, it invariably isn't. And it's true when they say, if you're not paying, you're the product. A quick example would be, you've got a Gmail account, nice free email account, thank you very much. But the thing is, they're combing through everything you send and receive, looking for keywords so they can bombard you with advertising. Now, sometimes this is fairly helpful, I guess. You may email a friend and say, or mention Venice. And the next thing you know, you've been bombarded with ads for cheap flights to Venice and hotels and all the rest of it. Or maybe, just once, mind you, you look up the symptoms of hemorrhoids, and then for the rest of your life, they never let you forget it. So we have to say, do we really want these ultra-powerful corporations knowing every tiny little thing about us and storing it all in databases so they can better harvest us for cash? Because that's the way the internet's going. Threat number three, criminals and sickos. Now, the streets are safer today because so many criminals have migrated to digital, where they can carry out their crimes in the comfort of their own living rooms. Con artists, confidence tricksters, they're online too. They tug at our heartstrings on dating sites. They offer us amazing bargains. And they're even capable of pretending to be us in a crisis and getting our friends to send money thinking that we are in trouble. This happened to a friend of mine only last week. Now, this is really scary. And this is happening to everybody, one way or another. People are getting these sort of emails. Now, you can also say that the other major threat are the stalkers and the trolls. Now, today's stalkers, they don't have to hide in the bushes. Not when they can sip a latte at Cafe Nero and monitor multiple victims in real time on the free Wi-Fi. Now, this is the rather aptly named Creepy surveillance tool. You can download it for free. And it allows you to keep close tabs on any active Twitter and Facebook user. This is my daughter Rebecca's recent trip to Rome. I can see everywhere she's been and pretty much what she's been up to. Mostly she's taking photographs of food. You can move it up a notch because most stalkers today have got a wealth of possibilities. For £30, $50, you can get a phone tracking package allowing the stalker to follow their victim's GPS signal, to listen in on all conversations, and even to turn on the camera and microphone. Now, you really don't want to make any enemies in the digital world. Not when reputation destruction is all too easy and suicide's all too common. Say hello to Rent-A-Hacker. You can find him down on the Tor hidden network. For €50, he would just screw with somebody for you. For €200, he'd get their passwords. For €400, he can bankrupt somebody. Destroying a life costs a little bit more. For €500, Rent-A-Hacker will stuff a target's computer full of images of child sexual abuse and then tip off the police. So believe me when I say the internet's a very dangerous place. But we can learn from the deep web. We can all learn to be anonymous when we choose to be. If they don't know who we are or where we are. They can't spy on us. They can't bombard us with ads. And they can't stalk us and do us harm. So what we could do, as a beginning, is to wean ourselves off products like Gmail. I would talk more about the things that are available. There's so many new products today. This is a free email service from Iceland. It's really cool, very secure. No one's going to comb through it for ads and all the rest of it. If you don't like being followed online by whoever, the state, criminals, corporations, all the rest of it, you can just put a free add-on to your browser. It's a doddle. Better yet is the Tor Firefox browser. Now, you can download this for free. It allows you to travel the regular internet incognito and to visit the dark side too. All you need to do is to type Tor Firefox into a search engine, follow the on-screen instructions, and hey presto, you can seriously be anonymous online. Back in the 70s, people were worried that TV was bad for you. They said, TV is rotting people's brains. Some people got so upset, they made this film, Network, starring Peter Finch as a crusty old news anchor who sees the light. Now, he doesn't have any answers. He just wants people to wake up and get mad. Sadly, I'm not allowed to play a clip from the film for copyright reasons due to internet. So I want you to imagine Peter Finch, really, really angry, shouting, "I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore. I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore." We should all be doing this. We should all be saying, "I'm as mad as hell at all the spying, at the commercial takeover, and all the criminals and sickos who are out to get us." In the film, they're just worried that TV is rotting people's brains. That's nothing. This is far more serious. We're looking at the end of the internet as we know it. Because the internet is being taken over by all the wrong people. But we can do something about it. We can all go deep web. It's not a place. It's a state of mind, a way of being. Simply by masking our activities, we can prevent people monitoring us, following us, doing us harm. I say it's time we woke up to the threats towards the internet. It's time we stood up and did something about it. It's time we stood up and took back the internet. And it's time we said, "I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore." Ladies and gentlemen, thank you.